No more auction block for me. No more, no more. No more auction block for me. Many thousand gone. No more peck of corn for me. No more, no more. No more peck of corn for me. Many thousand gone. No more driver's lash for me. No more, no more. No more driver's lash for me. Many thousand gone. The soldiers were making a confession, a proclamation of freedom. No more auction block for me. The song was a song of defiance and a resistance against slavery. And they were indeed fighting to be free.
156 years and 267 days ago, a battle began which ensued for over 30 hours right here at this site. The red blood spilled into this bleached white sand was from only the lives of the valorous United States colored troops. Their sacrifice helped lead to the fall of Wilmington the very next morning, the Confederacy's last and critically important seaport. Their fight for their freedom helped lead to Robert E. Lee's surrender at Appomattox a mere 43 days later. Your presence here today keeps warm this sacred ground. Thanks to you. The names of over 1,800 United States colored troops who fought right here. The only men commanded to advance on the front lines into heavily fortified artillery assault behind these very breastworks are now pulled from an entombed silence into the sunlight. The fire within their hearts, now reignited by your own, will burn hotter and will shine brighter than even the molten bronze poured to create Boundless in commemoration of the United States colored troops.
Lincoln's got a train, y'all, taking soldiers down south. Lincoln's got a train taking soldiers south. We gon' show the Southerners what it's all about. Did you hear the train? Yeah, hear the train.
Fellow Wilmington native, Mayor Saffo, I can't speak for you, but growing up here in Wilmington, I never heard one word about United States colored troops. How about you, Bill? Fellow Hoggard graduate, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you.
It is an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful day in the city of Wilmington, North Carolina. And this is a tremendous event for our community. And every time I come out here, there's a cannon firing. And then the last time I was out here, they were having a pitched battle between the Confederates on this side and the Union on this side, and you couldn't see in front of you. But it was remarkable because it kind of gave you the sense of, what it felt like to be in a battle with all that gunpowder that was flying around here. I also want to recognize Chris Fonville here. Chris is our historian, our local historian here. He probably knows more about the Civil War history in this area than anybody alive. And I know that he was very instrumental in persuading Mr. Cameron to preserve these works. And we owe you a great debt of gratitude for that, Chris. Thank you. America during the Civil War was really at its adolescence. It really had not really taken form as to what kind of a nation we were going to be. And that kind of country emerged from the Civil War, not the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War gave us the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. It broke us the freedom it gave us from England. But it was the actual Civil War that really defined us. It said what we were going to be, and it said what we were not going to be. And we are still telling the story of this epic event in American history over 150 years later. Today, another story of that war is being told and immortalized in this monument of the U.S. colored troops done by Stephen Hayes. It tells us the story of bravery and the power of freedom. It shows us that bondage of any sort will never prevail. These men helped to define what it means to be an American. They were part of a generation that told the world what this country was going to stand for. And we owe them a great debt of gratitude. God bless you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Saffo. New Hanover County Commissioner Jonathan Barfield has been right by our side with reenactment events where we learn more increasingly each year about the Battle of Forks Road ever since 2006. And used to, back in the day, we would give Commissioner Barfield a musket, and we would give Mayor Saffo a musket that they gleefully would fire right across the bow of the podium. And by 2015, we said, nah, no more. But still, you cannot keep Commissioner Barfield nor Mayor Saffo away from anything to do with this story. It is our honor that you've returned. Thank you, Commissioner Barfield.
Good morning, Wilmington. What a great day to be in the city of Wilmington and the county of New Hanover. Every now and again, and it comes very rarely, you get a wow moment for your community. And for me, this is one of those wow moments, to witness what we see here on the grounds today. Yes, yes. When you look around and you see the multitude of faces, you recognize that we are truly a melting pot here in our community, but it started with folks like the colored troops fighting for their freedom. When I come here, I recognize there were colored troops, there were black folks, there were African Americans that fought for their freedom, and they fought for my freedom. These are hallowed grounds for me. You all please embrace this for what it is. May God bless you all.
As previously mentioned, Bruce Cameron, Mr. Bruce, as he was affectionately known, walked these grounds through many years, knowing it was a Civil War site, thanks to Chris Fonville, but really had no idea the story of the land. Cameron Art Museum's Deputy Director, Heather Wilson, has worked with all her might to turn this earth and reveal its stories. For 16 years, she has dreamt of bringing Forks Road to life. She has led in the realization of the creation of Boundless. Heather, I carry your violin case. Oh.
So, are you crying yet? Oh no, now I am gonna cry. I've been crying all week, y'all. It's been, thank you everyone who's here. It is the story and the humanity of these United States colored troops that has captivated all of us at the museum from the beginning. Stories of men like James Bales, who escaped slavery in April of 1861 when he was only 15 years old and joined the 5th USCT at age 18 to fight for his future and the future of those he held dear. James was a carpenter when he enlisted. He was prepared to fight and to die if necessary for freedom, for his freedom, and for the freedom of his descendants, for the freedom of his family, for the freedom of the people that he loved. His arm and elbow were operated on as a result of a wound he suffered here at Forks Road, where we now stand. He fought bravely for freedom, and this is vitally important to who we are as a community and to our future. These men were fighting to break the binds that bound them. Their fight, as we know, is not over. This is the continuing story of Boundless.
You know, when I think about this great artist, Stephen Hayes, I am marveled by your artistic genius. With his gifted hands to be able to come in and put together something so magnificent out here as well as on the inside of the Cameron Art Museum, it takes a true genius to make these kind of things happen. And I would encourage you all to embrace this moment for what it is. I can only imagine what he went through as he had to delve deep inside of his own soul to recreate what we're going to see here today, to recognize that there's pain involved when you look at what these folks went through. You know, as a pastor prepares their sermon, they're always looking for what words should I shape or name this sermon? And the perfect name came for Stephen, which is Boundless. Recognizing these men fought for their freedom, and they said, we will no longer be bound. We're now boundless in this country. We will fight for our freedoms and declare that we'll all be free one day.
At a time of national reckoning regarding what is commemorated in the public square, honoring the incredible history of the U.S. colored troops at the Battle of Forks Road is timely and vital to understanding ourselves as North Carolinians. The foundation is honored to be a small part of honoring people who fought for a country that did not fully embrace them, who fought for people like me. Today, through this wonderful exhibit, we thank the U.S. colored troops, important veterans of this country.
The sculpture today is presented by PNC Bank, and without their funding, this would not be possible. But also without Rebecca Quinn Wolf's leadership, her guidance, her friendship, and her care about this project, none of this would be possible. She has been a steadfast supporter of our work at CAM from the beginning, and we are so grateful to Rebecca and to everyone at PNC Bank. Rebecca Quinn Wolf.
I am so privileged to be here with you all today, standing on this sacred ground. And while this occasion represents the much anticipated culmination of an artistic vision, it also marks a new chapter in the preservation of a legacy and a significant milestone for our region. When PNC committed to help bring Boundless to life over 2 years ago, we knew we were embarking on an important journey. In the months that followed, the evolution of this project took on new meaning against the backdrop of a changing world. At PNC, we believe education can be a great unifier. We are grateful the museum shares this conviction and for the opportunity to collaborate on this important work. Learning about the past is foundational to achieving a more equitable and inclusive future for all. It is our hope that this sculpture will inspire dialogue about the Battle of Forks Road and how it shaped our region, and that the discussions it sparks will help lead to further understanding and progress. To my friend Stephen Hayes, your incredible vision and talent bringing this incredible sculpture to life, simply moving and emotional. And I stood out here last night seeing the sculpture lit up, and I was chatting with a few people and said, this by far is in the top 3 projects I've ever worked on in my history and career working in the community. And that's just tremendous. And it's an honor, Stephen, to work with you on this project.
Come on now. Move too slow, you want to. All right, 1 second. Yes, sir. 3, nice smile. 1, 2, 3. Looking good. All right.
Please help me to welcome artist Stephen Hayes.
Thank you. Man, the pressure is on. I want to thank you all for coming out here. Good morning. You've been running back and forth. All right.
Um, for those of you who know me, y'all know I'm a man of like few words. I'd rather have my artwork speaks for itself. But I'm truly honored to have been able to create Boundless. I'm not speaking loud enough. Okay, he's right. I wasn't speaking loud enough. I'm truly honored to have been able to create the sculpture Boundless. To honor the men who fought bravely here, who marched through here. It was over 2,000 soldiers. So to be able to create something like this is truly a blessing for me and an honor for me to create. I want to thank everyone who supported me creating this, all of the re-enactors who helped, allow me to cast their bus. I want to say thank you. I'm not going to prolong it any longer. You know what I'm saying? So I want to call some of the reenactors to help me unveil this monument. All right?
This morning's ceremony will be unveiled by representatives from every regiment of the U.S. colored troops with us this weekend. That is to include...
And go. Come on, let me hear it. And be free. Oh, freedom. That's it. Before I be a slave, before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. And let me tell you now, there will be singing. There will be singing. There will be singing over me. Before? Oh, I'll be buried in my grave and go home. Come on, one more time. Oh, I'm going home. I'm going home. Oh, I'm going home to my Lord and be free.
I'd like to take this moment to thank a group of amazing people who was on the fundraising committee. This is not the entire committee, but I'd like to introduce them because it's very important because they worked very hard selling tickets, selling pavers, and getting the word out to the people about this day. So I'm going to first start with Simone Allen, her husband Fred Allen, he's not here, Ava Baker, Renee Lawson, Ruth, she came in from Baltimore, but Ruth Louie, and Sheila Cannon Santos, and from the NAACP, Russell Hewitt. Him and his wife could not be here today, but I said to Russell this morning that we will acknowledge you because you was a force on this committee, as well as Promise Robertson. So I just want to thank the committee, and from my heart, I appreciate all of you always going the extra mile. Your contribution to this project is praiseworthy. Each of you have played a part in making history to tell the story of the U.S. colored troops. I also like to thank the Cameron Art Museum staff and Brennan, Executive Director. Heather Wilson, Deputy Director. We appreciate you for your vision in commemorating the USCT and educating the community about their contribution. What can I say? Thank you, Stephen Hayes, the artist for Boundless, honoring the U.S. colored troops who fought the battle here of Forks Road. We, the committee, would like to extend our gratitude to all the donors of your sponsorship for the USCT Public Sculpture Project. Without your support, this project could not have been made possible. And I thank you all.